Cześć, witajcie, z tej strony Grzybu. Znajdujemy się na stanowisku Samicka 2011 Frankfurt i mamy niewątpliwą przyjemność rozmawiać z twórcą serii JTR Design, który opowie nam o patentach, które stosuje aktualnie w gitarach, które przez wiele lat stosował w różnych wersjach custom shopowych. Opowie nam o współpracy również z Gibsonem, dowiecie się na pewno wielu ciekawych rzeczy. Zapytajmy go jakie cele przyświecały robieniu nowej serii gitar. Dowiemy się, jakie też są nowości na rok 2011. Hello sir, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's very nice meeting you in person.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and always a pleasure to meet new guitar enthusiasts. It's great.
We would like to talk about your guitars, the JTR Design SAMICK guitars, and then a few words about the new things in 2011, okay?
Okay, sure. And well, the JTR Design guitars, basically, the whole premise behind the designs is guitars that I personally always like to use, and I basically, to create a new product, I blended a lot of the different instruments that I used to really prefer to use, and kind of combined them into one instrument, and I'm trying to, on the initial designs that I've been doing for SAMICK, I tried to make them look very familiar to most of the guitar playing public, because I've worked with other companies where we created totally new and unique designs, and it was very hard to get acceptance. So I tried to make guitars that were more comfortable, a little bit more stylish, and combined some of the best attributes of other models into models that aren't currently offered. It's like you can see here, this is definitely a design that started back in 1954, but I tried to give it a very vintage type of vibe, and but with a modern feel, and very more sleeker lines. But I made this a very usable hardtail type of instrument, where normally this instrument of this type is not offered very commonly with a hardtail. And this is very, very stable. You can see that we sleeking up the way the necks are joined. This feels more like a set-in neck than a bolt-on. But in the series, any guitars you see with dot inlays, I made what we call a bolt-on. It's actually a screw-on neck. A bolt is actually a nut and a bolt, but this is actually wood screws. But I did that, and to make these a little bit more cost-effective. This guitar retails, U.S. retail is under $400. But the features it has, you would normally see in guitars $2,000 or above. This is all custom Alnico 5 magnets and enamel wire wound pickups.
So is it also your design, the pickups?
Yes. Yeah, all the pickups are my design. I even have my little name on there. I put it on there very subtle, very, very subtly. I tried to be as tasteful as possible, but I want people to know that everything about these guitars is special. Even I know I get good and bad comments about the knobs, but I think this gives us our unique look, and I think it enhances the look of the guitar. Even our little toggle caps, they're unique to us, and they're weighted so that it helps assist during live performance. But everything has been highly thought about every single model, and we try to make the lines look very nice and sleek. And in today's production, there's no reason that you should see a guitar that doesn't look sleek. With the machines that are available now, and I'm very fortunate that we're making these in Indonesia, because the Indonesian people, it's like a natural gift from God for them to work with wood, and they're musicians. Almost every Indonesian that you run into, they either sing, play guitar, or play some kind of percussion instruments. They're very musically inclined and very artful with working with wood. You know, this is a very familiar format for knob layout, but I designed this to make for ease of playing in live performance and to minimize the amount of times that you have to touch the controls. A lot of times I would use a guitar of this nature and I'd like to have both pickups on, but I'd usually want to cut the volume back on this one and then, you know, to get a good fat sound but still smooth. But then when I switch here, then I had to switch and then pull this up to open up the volume again. So what I've done with the electronics in this guitar is allow you to do a lot of presets. This is actually a master volume overall for the instrument. So you have a master volume that basically controls both pickups. You have your pickup selector, and then you have, this is a blend control that allows you to attenuate the volume of the neck pickup and blend it with the bridge pickup when you're in the middle position. So you can attenuate the neck pickup until you get a pleasant sound, and you can leave it there. Once you flip the switch, this is out of the circuit, whether it's in the bridge or the neck position. So you can leave it as a preset. So you're just worried about your master volume. Now you have a master tone control, but the master tone control varies depending on, you have a 5-way switch here. If you were turned 100% this direction, this tone control is 100% bypassed. The reason for that is anytime you have an RC network, it's called a resistor capacitor network, in line with this passive system, it alters the sound of the guitar. And when you bypass it, you now have the direct output of the pickups, and you will get the brilliance of the actual pickup. Once you put the tone control into the circuit, it automatically cuts some of the brilliance that the pickups offer. So that's why I have a bypass mode. The position 2 is for ease of playing for a lot of rock and roll style of music. Position 2 bypasses the tone control, bypasses your blend control, and you just end up with a master volume and a bridge pickup. And so you just play your Green Day kind of music. Now the other thing that's cool is now this switch becomes a kill switch. So if you're lead singing and you're just playing heavy rhythm guitar and then you got to pause, you don't have to go down here and turn your knob all the way off. You just go like that and the guitar is off. And the other reason why I offered that into the circuit is because on a normal guitar of this nature you would have 2 separate volume controls, and you can usually turn one volume control all the way off and you can get a shunning effect, kind of like a tremoloing effect. Maybe at the end of a long chord you'd be going dun 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 dun. So you can actually still achieve that, and it's really easy to set to. Now it's set at position 2 because I wanted the opposing, because when you're actually using this knob and you're not looking and you don't have time, you can go all the way to one way, you bypassed your tone. If you go all the way the other way, your tone control works like a normal tone control that everybody's used to. There's 3 in-between positions. I just described the number 2 position that basically turns this guitar into a single humbucker master volume with a kill switch. Position 3, everything's functioning again, including your tone control. Now, to hear the best results, keep your tone control at 0. It's a very light capacitance, and with the 500K resistance, it actually it removes a little bit of highs, but it gives you compression. And when you're playing a lot of fast leads and things like that, it'll allow you to play a little sloppier, and it cleans you up, and like a normal compressor would do. And it also will kind of alter your tone, like if you're almost having a wah pedals in a preset position. Okay, yeah. Then the position 4 is a slightly heavier version of the same capacitor. Once again, the main effect you're getting is compression, more than just taking all your highs away. Now it's taking a little bit more highs, and it brings the the mid-range up into more of a nasally type of a sound. Kind of like if you had a wah pedal kind of just pulled up a little bit more. Now, position 5, your tone control works just like you would expect on traditional guitars from the 1950s. It takes all your highs down and it numbs you out and all that. But slide players use that quite a bit. But I think slide players, if they start trying to use these other two positions, they will find that they can still keep the brilliance of the guitar and clean up some of the messiness that they can't control by muffing it with their skin. But it's a very functional live performance type of electronics. We offer 3 guitars with this type of electronic. You know, this is the Linda 30. Well, there's actually 5 guitars in all. But you know, you have the Linda 30 is offered with it, the Roseanne 20, the Roseanne 30, the Elvira 20, and the Elvira 30. Now, the Roseannes and the Lindas work identically. The Elvira only has 3 knobs. Elvira works very similarly to what I just described on the Linda. The main thing is you have your master volume here, your master tone here, and your 5-way switch here. What the main difference being is position 1, your tone control is actually the pickup blend control. So when you're in the middle position, you can blend the 2 pickups, and actually the more you turn the knob down, the more you're adding this pickup into the circuit. So it works like a tone control like you would think, but because you're adding more bass as you roll this off.
Okay.
Now the other 4 positions all work identical to the Linda, whereas position 2 turns this into a single humbucker and master volume. The kill switch only works in the all the way neck position, so you can actually keep your switch here at bridge or middle and your guitar still function, and then it only turns off here. The other 3 positions are the same tone that I described on the Linda 30.
So could you tell us about, because this is something like an SG, right?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Very much like.
I collected Les Paul SGs forever, and those were my main guitars.
What would be your design for, you know, the cutout? How did you come up with this particular shape?
Right. Well, you know, I've always been an admirer of Gibson SGs, and I've always wanted one where it joined at the 24th fret, and you know, I always wanted to. I designed the neck joint to be much more stable.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I still enjoy the Gibson SG, but I wanted to give it a little bit more modern and more, I guess, a little bit more evil look. Now, when I actually with this design, you know, when I started figuring out the violin, it's like, you know, if the bridge was back here, you could bow it probably pretty easy, but I put the violin effect into it, and I thought that really fit all with everything on it, and I think it actually makes the guitar look very much sleeker. You know, and then also joining at the 24th fret, you know, I can play chords all the way up here, no problem. You know, this is free and clear. But this is my personal guitar, and I actually finished assembling this after last year's trade show. I finished assembling it in Madrid, Spain, and I've been using it ever since.